What's up, Reapers? Welcome back to the crypt. I'm doing a bit of a different video today. Got my mall shirt on. Got Mountain Dew Voltage, or as I call it, my Ride the Lightning. Make some room over here. This is 15 albums that I liked from the past few years. So from 2020 to 2022, these are albums that I enjoyed. I should have one, 2, 3. Okay. So I have 5 albums from each year. None of the 2022 releases I actually had by the end of the year. So some you will see. But an honorable mention, I wanted to I guess shout out would be, if I can find it, Crown Magnetar's Alone in Death EP for 2022. I know it may seem weird that I'm doing 2022 because I'm about to start with 2020, but this EP is fucking gnarly. Now, obviously, there are so many here that it was really hard to narrow down. And I'm going to say, I'm doing this because I got one release from 2020 that I really fucking liked. And actually, I just saw the band for the second time opening for Atheist. And here's their koozie. This is Recorruptor from Lansing. Great fucking death metal band. Awesome dude. I've met Clint. He was super nice. I met the guitarist. I'm blanking on his name. I said I would send them this video. So please comment your names, dudes, if you want. Y'all are fucking gnarly. But without further ado, start off for 2020. And this is not to say, oh, these are the best. These are just some of my highlights of the 2020 so far. I'm not going to do this year because, well, I don't want to spoil it. First up, Ingested, where Only Gods May Tread. Phenomenal release. I mean, the fucking bass pedals on this alone are gnarly. This might have actually been the first album I heard by Ingested. I'm not 100% sure. It's either this one or their debut. But, I mean, every fucking song on this is a ripper, just shred you beginning to end. Next up, Distant, Dawn of Corruption. This is an EP I wish I had, like, sooner, because because I'm gonna tell you right now that when I got this in the mail and I put it on, I was blown away. Hellmouth, The Void, just every song on here, front to back. Next up, Deeds of Flesh with Nucleus. This was the first Deeds of Flesh album I ever bought and listened to. And while it is not as good as Portals to Canaan, it is still super fucking heavy and really goddamn good. Next up, Lamb of God, self-titled. I don't think I need to say much about Lamb of God, and I know not everyone liked this album, but I did. Especially Roots featuring Chuck Billy from Testament. I love Chuck's vocals. And next up, this album I wish I got last year because this absolutely rips. I remember listening to it the day after I saw them, and I was just super happy, I was like super impressed with how well it was put together. This is Recorruptor with the Funeral Corridor. This is the definition of heavy as fuck death metal. Absolutely deserves your support. Going into 2021, we got, and I think this was a lot of one of the many highlights for that year for people. This is Malignant Altars with Realms of Exquisite Morbidity. I was blanking on the name there, but this is just hellfiery death metal from Texas, pretty much. Next up, I think everyone should know this band at this point. Cannibal Corpse of Violence Unimagined. Saw them on tour in support of this album. And I also ended up getting this for Christmas, and I immediately threw it on, and I was just like headbanging and just reading the fucking lyrics. And I remember listening to it so much at school, and people were like, "Why do you listen to that?" I'm like, because I can't. Next up, Enforced Kill Grid. I actually really like this album. I need to switch that case out, but I remember finding Enforced through the Metalhead box, and I ended up, liking it so much. I ended up getting both At the Wall and Kill Grid. Next up, this one really surprised me because I'm into the early stuff, but not much later stuff. Cradle of Filth, Existence is Futile. I remember blind buying this thinking it was an earlier album that just wasn't on like Spotify or whatever, but I was surprised to find out it came out in 2021. I mean, it's not as good as the early stuff, but it is still very solid and kind of what I want Cradle of Filth to sound like, and I love that art. And finally, for 2021, this should have no need for an introduction. I really want to get a shirt from these guys, and maybe even a hoodie, because they're good. A good winter death metal band. This is Frozen Soul with Crypt of Ice. I need to get their latest. I remember just finding it, and then I saw everyone going, "Hey, this is really good icy death metal," and no, this is really good death metal, and I was really impressed with how it is, and I might even have to throw it on after this video if my headache goes away. Next up, Schoolgirl Upon Thy Corpse, the Schoolgirl for 2022. This is a fantastic grindy anime. It's what I call Guro grind, which is basically anime based grind, like gore grind, death grind, whatever you want to call it. This is some really good shit off of it says Toxic Lolly Records, but I got this. Actually, I might have gotten this from Reality Fade. I don't remember exactly. Next up, I'm so pissed I didn't get these other ones. Well, I'm pissed I didn't get any of these till this year, because these absolutely would have made my end of the year list. This is Enterprise Earth with The Chosen. I think a lot of people were hating on this album because of a lot of the cleaner vocals and whatnot, but I actually welcomed it. Now, I love Patient Zero. That was a fantastic 2015 release, but goddamn, it, it, they just get better every time, in my opinion. Next up, again, like I said, I was so mad I didn't have this last year. This is Pharmacist with Flourishing Extremities on Unspoiled Mental Grounds. I remember seeing Classy Metal Alani here on YouTube uh, get this in a metalhead box, and I remember wanting it for so long and hope I would get it. Never did. And then, I finally found it online. Now, the booklet, or at least my copy, doesn't actually have the lyrics. I don't know if that's the same for every copy. I mean, it has like a booklet, but just got like some weird photo shit. And I mean, I'm not uber picky about that with something like this, because I mean, it's death grind, gore grind, whatever. But this absolutely is a top 5 for me. Especially the second track, Corpus Sonus. Goddamn. Next up, this one Lonnie sent me, and I'm so sad I ended up deleting the unboxing of that, because the label that he sent this and another CD from has become one of my regulars because of him. And if he ever watches this, dude, I'm sorry I delayed that video, man. That was an honor. I don't know how to thank you enough. I'm not gonna be one of those people like, oh, can you send me something else because you sent me one thing before. No, I'm better than that. I'm just thankful you sent me anything at all. Dude, you are one of the most nice, you are one of the kindest and most generous people I know here on YouTube. And honestly, just being your friend is all that matters to me. This, and I'm so thankful you sent this to me. This is To the Dogs with Light the Fires. To get back on track. Didn't mean to get all sentimental. This is like crusty death metal sort of stuff. And I remember just really being shocked with it, with how good it was, because goddamn. I can't even recommend a single track off of that. And finally, this absolutely would have made it had I known about it. And there's a lot of albums like that. I mean, there's Black Anvil's Regenesis. There's Elix, yeah, like Rake of the Astro Leviathan. Thanks, Lonnie, for sending this along with the one I just showed. But this one has been in a steady rotation. This is Trash Panda with Pawns of the Putrid God. I think what I like about slam and death metal is those putrid vibes. I love words like putrid and violent and just like all these disgusting sounding names for bands and songs and albums, and you know, this lives up to that name and then some, in terms of it is a pawn of the putrid god. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and as always, keep it grim.